It's the early evening and the wind has kicked up on Okanagan Lake. That's great for sailing, as members of the Okanagan branch of the Disabled Sailing Association are out getting in some practice racing.
We're working on starts. There's different ways to time the start. The horn goes at 5 minutes and then it goes again at 4. And you're timing your boat so that you can have a starboard tack, so you have right away over the boats. So when the horn goes, you're crossing the line at full speed. That's the ultimate goal.
We practice our starts, our stops, the way we go around the markers. And it's still competitive. We still race when we're out there.
You go to a windward and a leeward mark. You're trying to turn that corner almost like barrel racing with horses. You're trying to turn that corner as fast as you can and pick up speed and keep going. So it uses a lot of the things you've learned to do that.
They've been practicing, these guys, since the beginning of May. We've been having practice sessions on Thursdays. And we've got some of our experienced sailors from the yacht club coming to coach them and give them some tips on how to pick their game up a bit.
That's what all this practicing is all about. It's practice, and we call it repetition. It's just like a choreographed routine, and they're working on the routines as opposed to pleasure sailing where you just go out and do your thing. This is a structured, regimented routine, and they're getting much better at it.
Conditions are tricky on this day, and getting to the starting line is proving to be a bit of a challenge.
They are doing fantastic. They're really enjoying the challenge, whereas before they were pleasure sailing, so now they're having to put their mind, their bodies to it. They come off the water physically tired and mentally exhausted every time.
I looked online and I was looking for things to do as a disabled person, and I love being on the water, and this is just a perfect fit, and I love it. I love the light wind, it's relaxing. I like the heavier wind like this, the boat heeled right over. I just love it, it's fun.
The freedom, whatever you're doing out there, you're doing it. You've got somebody in the back, telling you how to, but it's just, you don't have to actually listen to them.
The boat they are using is the Canadian designed and built Morton 16. Easily adapted for all kinds of abilities.
And it's been developed to be a very stable boat with very simple controls, so that somebody that's a quadriplegic using a sip and puff system can control the direction of the boat and can also control the trim of the sails. So they are sailing that boat on their own. They do have to have somebody in the boat with them just in case something happens to the equipment, but they can sail it on their own.
I ended up going from a manual chair into a powered chair. So, you lose that physical ability where, hey, you can use a puffer in these things and still be competitive.
The DSA has been offering sailing sessions since 1993 and been at the Kelowna Yacht Club since 2009. There, they run programs from May to September with 5 sailboats and certified instructors.
We run programs all day from Monday to Friday. It's for disabled people, anywhere from physical disabilities, cognitive disabilities. But this fall, the exciting thing is that we're having the Mobility Cup here in Kelowna, and that's from September 11th to the 15th. And that is people who really enjoy the sailing, have learned how to sail, and now they want to race.
The Mobility Cup is coming to Kelowna for the first time. Held in Canada's largest cities for the past 25 years, the regatta was initiated in Vancouver by former Mayor Sam Sullivan. And disabled sailing routes go even further back to Expo 86.
When Rick Hansen did his original Man in Motion tour and was in Britain, he met Margaret Thatcher, and she donated a boat called a Sunbird to him to bring back to Vancouver. So he came back here with the boat and got talking to Sam Sullivan, and I guess Sam at that time was a paraplegic, and so they got together and figured out how to get people out sailing.
The race has gone international, with racers from California and Vermont expected, and Canadian racers from as far afield as Newfoundland. There are 2 fleets, gold for the more experienced racers, and silver for those still honing their racing skills.
We have a few sailors who've been to other mobility cups, so they've had some experience with that. Some of them, this will be their first time trying it because they just maybe aren't able to get far away. So to have it close by for our guys is great.
The last 4 years I sailed Wednesday nights with racing with our fleet. And when the chance for Mobility Cup coming here and having the opportunity to sail, basically you're dealing with some really good world-class sailors, North American sailors. And just the competition, I know, hey, you may beat the local guys, but it's always good when you beat the guys from out of town too.
I started 3-4 years ago, just taking lessons, learning to sail, and Mobility Cup in Kananaskis was on, and I thought, I'll try that. You don't have to have much experience, and I got hooked right there.
Prep flag is coming down. 3, 2, 1 minute.
The camaraderie amongst the sailors, I like the competition. I like testing your skills. You're sort of testing against yourself as well, to see if you can use the skills that you've learned non-race time, so I really enjoy it.
I think what drew me in was the racing part, finally being able to be competitive with it. Because we don't all play wheelchair basketball, right? So finding something that was fun, it was fast, it was easy to learn, great coaches, great location.
I came in third in the Silver Fleet in Kananaskis and fifth in Victoria, so I thought, I'm in my hometown, I'm going to try the Gold Fleet, so we'll see. I might get an education, but I want the experience. I want to try it and see how I end up, and I know the lake, and I'm looking forward to it. It's really going to be a good event. I know it will be.
Oh, I'm always confident I can kick anybody's butt, right? You have to have that if you're going to go out there and do it. And even if you don't, it's still a good day.
The wind on this day continues to shift, and that means adjusting on the fly.
You can do 2 or 3 races and everything is the same. Mother Nature throws a wind shift in and all bets are off. As you can see here, the sails are in a different position, and that's where the mental game comes in. You have to react and do things differently to finish at the top of the fleet because the wind is constantly changing direction.
The nice thing about sailing is that it's not like a racetrack, it's always changing, so it's very interesting and challenging and technical out there. You develop a strategy how you're going to attack the course, and then you have tactics to know how to get off the start line and time the start so that you're on a starboard tack, which gives you the right of way over the other boats. To get a good start is pretty important. So yeah, we all kind of help each other out and try and give each other pointers, and some of the members of the Kelowna Yacht Club are helping us out too, trying to, giving us some tips and some awesome training that we would never get otherwise. It's fantastic. There's lifts to get you in. If you can get yourself in, it's fine. If you have a vision impairment, anybody can sail. If you have a disability, there's sip and puff if you're quadriplegic, and that one straw uses the tiller or steers the boat. The other straw, sip and puff, moves both sails at the same time. So the options are open for everybody. It's enjoyable. You can enjoy a nice, relaxing, beautiful sail, or you can be competitive and try to get the most speed out of the boat you can. So everything's there.
This 16-foot sailboat is both fast and stable. A 300-pound lead bulb attached to the keel prevents it from capsizing, and it's filled with foam flotation that makes it unsinkable when flooded. A second seat for an instructor or companion is situated behind the sailor's seat. Options include power-assisted equipment and a sip and puff system for those who cannot move their arms.
For people that have full arm strength, there's a tiller and to steer the boat, and there's 2 ropes, one for the jib or head sail and the other for the mainsail. So you learn about if the boat's close hauled, you're going upwind, similar to how an airplane lifts off the ground. The wind is pulling you forward instead.
It's the same aspect of regular sailing. The women are finding it fantastic in Kelowna. We have one of the largest women's sailing fleets because of the physical nature. People think sailing is an easy sport. You get out there and start grinding winches and pulling sheets, and the mental, it's a full body workout, let me tell you. And these physical disabled sailors, they still have upper body movement, and they're just working those arms. They're fantastic. They're just giving her their all.
The race is scheduled for September 11th to 15th in Kelowna. Organizers are still looking for volunteers.
We need people to help on the docks, getting people in and out of boats, moving wheelchairs around. So if you think you might like to be involved with something like this, our website is www.mobilitycup.com. And on there you can see what the different positions we're looking for to help out. And yeah, it's a really cool event to see these people. They leave their wheelchairs at the dock. They go out and sail just like anybody else. So it's a really cool event.
Way to go, Howard! That was a good call. You got up the line, almost past.
Well, a bad day's sailing's still better than a good day's work, right? And it's true. You know, how can you not have a smile on your face when you get all that freedom, the wind blowing against you? It's a good day.